friends, Jerry Rosa here in the Rosa Stringworks Workshop. Got a very short video for you today. It's addressing two issues that I have received criticism over many times. And one of them is about my little soldering gun that I use. It's not a soldering iron, it's a soldering gun, the pistol grip style, and people have called me an idiot, literally, in those words exactly, for using it rather than using a soldering iron. Well, I always did have a soldering iron. It just shot craps on me the other day, and I rarely ever used it, and it went out already. I've had this little soldering gun for probably 30 or more years, and it's never failed me. And I'll show you in the video why I like it and how to make it work well, because there is a trick to it. And also in the video I'm going to show you on a Martin Shenandoah guitar how I took the bridge off. Now this just happens to be a bridge that I had glued on with Titebond many years before I ever started YouTube. The bridge failed catastrophically, as you'll see, and it cracked and broke, but it was due to internal stresses inside the guitar that either were there probably when I fixed it the first time and I didn't realize it, or happened after that. I don't know which. The point is that the bridge was removed after being glued on with Titebond, and people tell me all the time, you cannot take a bridge off or you can't get it apart if you've glued it on with Titebond. Well, I'm here to tell you it's just nonsense. I do it all the time, never had a problem. And I say do it all the time, I've done it a few times. Let me just say it that way. I did it on my own guitar, the one I made for my brother, as you recall in that video. The neck was glued on with Titebond. Now, if you were ever going to have trouble getting a joint apart, it would be a neck glued on with Titebond. Well, I took that neck out in as a matter of fact, in maybe record time even. It came out almost easier than any neck I ever took out. I had to reset the neck is the reason I had to take it apart. So anyway, the point is, it's just a huge myth that you can't take a Titebond joint apart. And in this video, I think you'll see that. Now, admittedly, I will tell you that this one didn't come apart real clean. There's a lot of residue left over and junk, but it didn't really cause any real problem. It didn't really cause any big tear out or anything like that, any more so than I see with other kinds of glues. So anyway, I hope you'll enjoy this short video. Thank you for watching. Hello friends, Jerry Rosa here in the Rosa Stringworks Workshop. We have a Martin Shenandoah guitar here today. I don't know if I can get that where you can read that or not. And this thing has some issues. It was in the shop, I'm going to say 4 years ago before I started YouTube. And I took the bridge off of it, and it was coming off, and I took the bridge off, cleaned the area, put it back down. Though the bridge is still absolutely tight. Completely tight. But look what's happened. The bridge is cracked into multiple pieces. Can you see the multiple pieces? You can tell that I moved the bridge back to set the intonation correctly. Well, looking inside of it, there's also quite a large bow here. And when they had it strung up when they brought it to me, and I immediately unstrung it because I wanted to look inside it, number one, but also to get rid of that tension. And I might just add, if you've got an issue with your bridge where you can see something's abnormal, unstring your instrument. Just get rid of the tension. I mean, all you're doing is creating more problems for down the road. So you might as well just get rid of the tension, get the problem addressed, and then string it back up. Well, anyway, I can tell there is at least one loose X brace in here, at least one, and there may be some more loose braces. It's hard to tell for sure. But we have to get started by first getting this pickup out of here. So we're going to take this off and see if that'll loosen it up enough to get it over here in the sound hole and see what we have to do to get it out. Okay, this particular style is an old style, and it has to come out through this way versus inside. I was hoping I could unscrew this, pull the whole thing inside, come up through the sound hole, but it doesn't work that way on this one. As a matter of fact, that nut won't come any further off than right to the end of the threads, and this won't unscrew from this piece here. I've tried. It appears to me that it's either made together or it's been Loctited together or something. I'm not really sure. But anyway, it will not come apart, at least not with the effort that I've made. So we're going to unsolder it. Before we unsolder it, I'm going to point out that I've been using this same soldering iron probably for 25 years, maybe 30 years. Never had any trouble with it at all. I was criticized in a recent video of saying, you're an idiot for using this, that I should be using a regular soldering iron. Well, maybe so, but I have never had a problem with it. There's two reasons you will have problems with this type of soldering device. That is, if you don't keep the tip relatively clean, and more importantly even, you have to make sure these are tight. And this comes in, it goes in through here, and then it bends. You have to make it bend and come out these two side holes. Then you tighten these nuts down really tight. If you don't keep these nuts really tight, it won't work at all. And I don't mean snug, I mean they have to be tight. As long as you keep them tight, keep this relatively clean, this thing works first time every time. There's no heat till you pull the trigger. That's what I like about it, and it's almost instant heat. So to me, I think, you know, whoever told me I was an idiot for using this, I think you need to rethink it. So here we go. See, instantly you get heat there, and then you can just, well, except that I don't have any way to pull the wire out. Need 3 hands on this operation, but the wire was loose. I just couldn't get it out of there. There it is. It's out now. So I love that little iron like that. It's, you don't have all that heat sitting around right there where you're working. And now we'll take that one off. It's off. Just that simple. So I love my little soldering iron. Call me an idiot if you want, but I'm going to continue to use it, and will probably never change. After I unsoldered it, I was able to pull this right out through the hole. The hole is a very tiny hole. This particular old style was made very stiff. You could probably get that to bend, but if you did, you're going to break it, number one. And number two, even if I did bend it and get it where it was in line with this, I don't think I could have pulled that through the hole because the hole is very small. I might have been able to, but it just isn't worth the risk. So it's easier just to unsolder it and pull it out. Okay, well now we've got big issues. I have to get this bridge off of here. Now keep in mind, I glued this bridge on with Titebond, and now people say you cannot get that off once you glue it with Titebond. Well, it's not loose. I can tell you that for sure. It's not loose at all. See, its paper's not going under there at all. Not at all. So the bridge itself is fine, but it's cracked. I mean, the glue to the bridge is fine, but the bridge is obviously destroyed. There was so much bow in this top that it just pulled the bridge into a deformity here, and it just cracked it. Okay, you can see the time is 11:13. I have not started heating it at all. As you can tell, I got my hand on there and it's not hot. At 11:13 we started. This is Titebond, remember. Let's just see how long it takes me to get it off. The iron is just starting to heat up, so the iron's not overly hot yet. Here it's off. The time is 24, so that was 9 minutes. And not much damage. There's some damage, don't get me wrong, I ain't gonna lie to you, but it's not bad. Yeah, it probably was a little harder to get off than if it would have been hide glue, but you can tell that that's a testament to the Titebond. The Titebond did not give up even though the bridge cracked under the stress of those braces cracking. So the Titebond's a good solid bridge connector, and that I'll take that every time.